So at this point we've reviewed how you find the slope and the y-intercept by looking at the equation, how you graph a line by looking at its equation, and then in this last slide we're going to go over and review how you actually write the equation if I give you the graph. So it's going the opposite direction. In all three of these examples, you have four lines, and we're going to write the equations for them in slope-intercept form. In order to do that, all you need to be able to identify is the slope and then the y-intercept, so that you can substitute those values in to an equation in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to start with 14, then I'll do 15, I'm going to ask you to do 17 and 18. Looking at this first one, first thing I need to figure out is, I think, the y-intercept. That's going to be easiest. And I can see, look at my y-axis, that the y-intercept is right there at positive 1. So my y-intercept is 1. Then I need to figure out the slope. Starting at that point, I need to find another usable point, which I see 1 there. And so I can see that there's a rise of -3, a run of 3, and I need to figure out what that slope's going to be. That's really -3 over 3, which simplifies to -1. So my slope is -1, and my y-intercept is 1. So to put those together, the equation for this line is y equals -1x, because that's the slope times x, plus 1. Before I check my answer, I can see, I'll rewrite it just a different way that's also the same thing. If I have -1x, -1 times x is really just the same thing as -x plus 1. So either one of these is our correct answer. I'll actually check with what the worksheet says. Looks like the worksheet is saying -x plus 1, although either one is correct. Next, we'll look at 15. I know that I need to find the slope and the y-intercept for the graph, and then I should be able to write the equation. The y-intercept is easiest to see because right there I can see that the y-intercept is down 2, which is -2. And the slope, I need to find another usable point, which I see at the x-intercept right there. I have a rise of 2, a run of 4. So that's really 2 over 4, which simplifies to 1/2, and that's my slope. Putting those things together, that means y equals the slope 1/2 x plus -2, which is the same thing as y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Either one of these, 1/2 x plus -2 or 1/2 x minus 2, are the correct answer. I'll check which way the worksheet prefers. Prefers y equals 1/2 x minus 2 or y equals 1/2 x minus 2. But either one, again, would be correct. Okay. To finish, I'd like you to find the slope and the y-intercept for both of these graphs, and then to write the equation. Before you stop the video to try, I'll give you some help and tell you the usable points. I definitely see one usable point there, and I also see a usable point right there. For the second graph, I see a usable point right here, and another one right there. Stop the video here, press play when you're ready to check your answer for the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation. Okay, you've tried, so now it's time to check. Looking at 17, you should have been able to see pretty clearly, since I gave it as a usable point, that your y-intercept is 1. And that your slope, which goes down 3 and over 2, is -3/2. So which means the equation should have been y equals -3/2 x plus 1. And that's your equation. -3/2 x plus 1. Looking at 18, hopefully you're seeing that the y-intercept is -2. That was a usable point. Wait, I mean -3. And the slope, which went up 2 and over 3, a rise of 2 and run of 3, the slope was 2/3. So as an equation, that means y equals 2/3 x minus 3. And that should have been the equation you had. At this point, I think you're ready for independent practice, so here are your 5 practice problems. Excuse me, not 5, 8. For these first 4, I'd like to identify the slope and y-intercept for each equation. So you need to tell me what is the slope and what is the y-intercept for each. And for these last 4, you need to match each graph with its equation. So you have 4 options, and you're going to match them either with graph A, graph B, graph C, or graph D. If you do well on this independent practice, you should be ready to retake objective assessment 3B.7 through 9, I think. You have 8 practice problems to do. Good luck.